Honorable Speaker, the Senator for Kirinyaga asked the Cabinet Secretary to give details of ongoing tree harvesting in Kamurwana Hill Forest. The answer that the CS gave was that there is no such activity going on. The Senator for Kirinyaga, as I know him, he's not a madman. I am sure there is somewhere from which this question originates. Madam CS, the problem we have with this ministry is that you do not communicate. And in fact, it is the entire government. This government is unable to communicate. The problem with Karura, Honorable CS, is that instead of the ministry ahead of time telling the people of Nairobi and the country that we will be doing harvesting of mature trees next week so that everybody is on the same page, you wait until we are sent videos online of felling of trees, then we see a statement from Kenya Forest saying, oh, that is us. The problem is communication. We wake up one day and we can see people clearing sections of Ngong forest on the southern bypass. Then when we ask, oh, that is us. I think that is where the problem is. So you need to tell us as a ministry, what is your policy on communication? When you want to do tree planting, tree harvesting, why can't you tell the country in advance? The Senator for Kiambu is not a madman. We have seen you felling trees in Karura.
What is your supplementary question, Senator Sifuna?
So the question is...
Just a minute, Senator Mandago. Just continue. I've asked you to ask you a supplementary question.
Honorable Speaker, why am I being heckled by people from Wasinigishu? We are talking about Karura. I don't even know whether he knows where Karura Forest is. Can he allow us to engage in CS? Why am I being heckled by people from Wasinigishu? When it comes to forests in Elbagon or wherever it is, you can ask your question. Chair, the reason we were concerned, me and my brother from Kiambu here, Honorable Speaker, Karura Forest is at the heart of the people of Nairobi and Kiambu. So what is the communication policy? Do you wait until Twitter tells us, Sifuna, there is logging going on in Karura before you give a statement? Why can't you tell us these trees don't mature by surprise? I am sure the forest department knows how long it takes a tree to mature and when it will be due for harvesting. Why can't you tell us in advance instead of waiting for Twitter to tell us that trees are being felled, then you come and say, oh, that is us?
That question is not different with what was asked by Senator Karongo and the rest. Senator Kinywa, she will answer together with several other questions from other members.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is, this planting of trees, Mr. Speaker, is it a PR exercise or we are committed to it? Because in Laikipia County in particular, a place called Kauka, the minister then, Mr. Njeru, planted trees. We went there to plant trees, but that place, as we speak right now, there is no single tree because the elephant went there and they destroyed everything. This year again, the governor was there, plus the cabinet, not the cabinet, but the PS, I can't remember which PS. They planted trees. So my question is it a public PR exercise to plant trees? And when we talk about planting trees, how many have we planted? It is not how many have we planted, how many have survived, Mr. Speaker? Because every time we talk about planting trees, but we don't know how many are surviving. Every time, Mr. Speaker, we are told trees are planted, there is a day set for planting trees. Is it planting trees, Mr. Speaker, or is it the number of trees that have survived? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
What you're asking is, are we planting trees or growing trees? Growing. Because if you grow, you must tender those seedlings from the onset until maturity. So maybe your question is, are we growing trees or planting? You can plant and go, but growing, your eyes are there full time, so that you can be able to nurture them. Senator Nduro, Fatuma.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and Waziri. Mr. Speaker, my question is on Madenge, and I hope Waziri understands what Madenge is. And previously, Madenge was introduced more specifically to northern Kenya to actually control desertification. But this plant is causing a lot of havoc in many parts of northern Kenya. I have repeated this question even in the last Senate, because the communities living in those areas, they are unable to graze even their animals because of madenge. Number two, the communities have requested the Ministry of Environment to be allowed to burn charcoal from those plants so that at least they can control madenge growing. There were...
Tanduro, the senator representing Nyeri County is wondering whether it is him or who are you referring to? Is it Madenge, senator for Nyeri, or Madenge 3?
No. Mr. Speaker, madenge is madenge plant. What is called Prosopolis or something like that.
It's called Prosophis juliflora.
Exactly. You are right. It looks like you have done environmental science. See, or whatever it is.
That's my area. You know I can lecture you.
Oh, thank you. So me, I've not done that. So, Mr. Speaker, it's not madenge a person, but it's madenge the plant. What I really wanted to know from the minister, I'm sure she's new in the ministry, but the DG Forest is there, the minister, the PSS are there. Us people living in northern Kenya, we have a lot of challenges. Those trees are dangerous. They are even poisonous. They are killing our animals. I want to know whether the ministry has plans to allow the communities living in those areas to burn charcoal from those plants, or what plans do they have to control those plants? I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Last one from Senator Seki.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I also want to request to understand from the Cabinet Secretary on the issue of Ololua Forest in Ngong and Kajiado North. That sometimes back, Honorable Speaker, we had a big problem on Ololua Forest where there are quite a number of intruders who encroached the forest and blocked the grazing and animals taking water from the river nearby. And I wanted to know the status of that encroachment, particularly on the area of Ololua. Could she just tell us what are the plans the ministry has done to make sure that that encroachment has been protected and even those people have been put in books? Otherwise, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Madam CS, you can answer those 4 interventions.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker and honorable members. Indeed, these are quite interesting questions, of which some of them would require us to sit down in order to give you quite a comprehensive report, which we are again assuring you. That way we have tangible evidence and ensuring that we are all in the same page. Regarding the Karura Forest, there has been adequate communication by the KFS and Friends of Karura through their social pages. There is also a public notice in all gates in Karura Forest whenever the activities occur. Again, for the concerns about the planting, we are not planting, but we are growing trees as a ministry. And maybe what I forgot to say is that from the 783 million trees that we have planted, what we have noticed is there is an 85% survival rate for the trees in 3 years, meaning 85% of the trees are actually surviving. And what we are also monitoring is how many are being cut down. That way we don't have a negative net. So that is part of the communication, that is part of the report that we will be sharing. And again, it will be categorized per county to ensure that everyone is well informed. For Laikipia, yes, we take note of the elephants that were able to destroy, and indeed they are a menace. And there is a fencing, electric fencing, that has been installed by KWS to address the elephants' tree damage with the human and wildlife contact. So electric fence has been installed in that area. Regarding the Prosopis juliflora or Madenge, we have actually drafted a CAB memo, and it will very soon be tabled in the cabinet. It will provide a comprehensive report and approach through an interministerial committee to address this concern. And we know that it's currently affecting the 27 counties, and that is why we needed to have a comprehensive approach to this, and we will keep you informed on what will progress thereafter to address it. However, for the charcoal, yes, there's a draft charcoal regulation 2025 currently undergoing public participation, which will allow sustainable charcoal production. Thank you.
One from Senator Sekirenku, Olodua Forest. What is not in order? What is out of order? The CS or who? Let's first answer the question from Senator Seki.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, honorable members, the Ololua area is it is now protected. There are no illegal activities, no encroachment. As I said, we are happy to tour the area with you to ensure that, again, this is the case, because we are confident that now it is well protected.
The Cabinet Secretary alluded to the fact that that area mentioned, Kauka, is fenced off, which is not correct, Mr. Speaker. So maybe other areas of Laikipia, like for example, the areas of Moateto, that's why we are having electric fence. But the area mentioned, Kauka, Minor Village, all the way to Marmanet, that area, people are still being affected by those elephants. And I give her benefit of doubt, because she's new in the ministry, but at least she should give the correct information, Mr. Speaker.
But she has invited you to that visit. Maybe you can be able to comprehensive.
I can't wait, Mr. Speaker, for the visit.
Yeah. Madam.
Yes, thank you, Speaker. Yes. What we had said is that the area is protected. It is not fully fenced. We have rangers around the area. And what we are saying is that we want to share a comprehensive report that is looking into the coverage with even the pictures. So we can have the pictorial component being addressed. That way we can be able to achieve the coverage that we require as a country.
Who do you want to inform? The CS?
Inform Kenya that protection is not necessarily an electric
He doesn't want
fence.
to be. He has declined the information that you have. Senator Matinga Ome.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir, for giving me this opportunity. Let me start by commending the CS in the short time she's been in the ministry. She is doing quite fine. Having said that, Mr. Speaker, and aware that the CS might not have internalized all the operations, however, there is an issue that we have been discussing in this House and in the country at large, and it is also a global issue that we thought that we as a country can leverage. And I, coming from a country that sits between two water towers, our effort and to ensure that we have comprehensive forest cover has been quite elaborate, and therefore there is a question that Mr. Speaker, I would want the CS to elaborate on, because it touches on the incentives that we are trying to leverage on, and that is the issue of the carbon credit. It is fully aware, Mr. Speaker, that even in this House we've passed laws that will ensure that that is operationalized. We were trying to bring the youth and to mainstream the young generation into ensuring that they take part in the afforestation of this country. And therefore, what we were promising to them is that these carbon credits will be a take-home for them. Could the CS tell us how she is planning to go ahead and implement that and operationalize that so that this very great benefit is not lost to our young generation, whom we must mainstream in maintaining our ecosystem? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Ososi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, maybe before I ask the question, let me thank the CS for coming, even though she has been there for a very short time. She seems to be a quick learner on these things. Mr. Speaker, I would like to know from the CS the policy around sawmilling in the forests, because I have a situation in my county in Kibiri Forest, which is part of the larger Kakamega Forest, where the community is involved in the growing of trees, but then when it comes to sawmilling, they do not involve the community. They bring people from other parts of the country, from other counties, who come to do sawmilling. And yet these people have been involved in the growing of the trees, in taking care of the forest, but when it comes to now harvesting the trees, they bring contractors and sawmillers from other parts of the country. So what is the policy of the ministry on sawmilling and involvement of the community? Because, Mr. Speaker, I have brought this matter before this House twice, and every time I'm being told that something is going to be done about it. But the situation is still the same, Mr. Speaker. So I would like to know from the Cabinet Secretary what steps they are taking. And, Mr. Speaker, this question does not need her to go and research. This is a matter that has come here twice. What steps are they taking to ensure that the community is fully involved, not just in the growing of trees, but even in harvesting of trees when they are ready to be harvested? Mr. Speaker. Kibiri Forest.
Senator Mariam Sheikh Omar.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, my question is, as the CS, when it comes to tree plantings, it involves both national governments and county governments. My question is, what measures or reward that the ministry have to give to encourage counties to plant more trees? Thank you.
Senator Manzo Daniel.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to ask the Honorable CS about the transportation of seedlings. After seedlings have been grown by the ministry, then they have to be transported to different areas for planting. And that has been a problem in Kilungu, Muka area, forests, where the farmers there who work with the forest department want to take these trees to primary schools to plant, especially in this rainy season. But there's been constant questions as to transportation. Do you help transport the seedlings to areas or forests that are going to be planted? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Lengwe Steve.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Cabinet Secretary, given the government of Kenya ambitious policy to plant 1 billion trees in the next 10 years, as part of the national government afforestation policy, could the Cabinet Secretary clarify how this policy aligns with the management and regulation of logging activities in private forests? Specifically, how does the government ensure that logging in private forests does not undermine the government efforts?
Senator Mandago Jackson.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I have a question to the Cabinet Secretary which we may not get an answer because it's not closely related. but it is endangering our forests. There is a plant called Cascuda that is destroying the very trees that we plant if it is not checked, just like the Madenge plant Senator Dulo was talking about. It is going to become a disaster. We've seen the destruction that is going. What is the ministry doing? Or is there a chemical that can be sprayed? Or how can we get rid of this parasitic plant that is destroying our trees, Honorable Speaker?
I think that was the last question, but I don't, Senator Wakili, really, are you reappearing again now as the senator for Bomet, because you appeared as senator for on behalf of Mulango?
No, I
Okay.
was
Thank you
queuing
then. Thank you.
earlier on.
Thank you very much. Madam CS, just respond to those few interventions, and then we call it a day.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker and honorable members. Regarding the carbon credit, this is quite an elaborate report that would require extensive discussion, and we have the carbon regulations which are in place, and so we recommend again 7 days to prepare that report. For the sawmilling, the trees are disposed through open tender as per the Public Procurement Act. And again, we want to inform you that everybody is allowed to tender. And communities are encouraged and are allocated 30 to 60% of the same. And again, local licenses are considered at a ratio of 60 to 40. So for the transportation of seedlings, there is no budgetary provision for transport, but KFS will support also in the tree planting sessions. So we encourage the utilization of the same staff that we have as a ministry. The public has been sensitized regarding Honorable Mandago's question. It has been sensitized through KEFRI and CALPO, and there's discussions going on with the community. However, I believe that we will be sending a comprehensive report regarding the same as we had alluded to earlier. Thank you.
Senator Ososi, you know you are very passionate when you asked your question on the sawmillers in your county. But you are not even keen to listen to the answer that was provided. And you said you want a straight answer, not even to be given this to come and respond again.
Mr. Speaker, I'm very sorry. I was consulting with my party member here.
You know,
Senator
we are
Faki.
not now addressing party issues. We are listening to the responses from the CS. She came all the way to address our questions. Therefore, what she answered is that Madam CS, just take 1 minute to repeat what you said, because you should encourage sawmillers to participate in the tendering of the, when tenders are fruited. Madam CS.
Yes.
Yes. Just repeat what you said on the sawmillers in his county, Vihiga County.
Yes, for the sawmillers, the trees are disposed through open tendering as per the Public Procurement Act. And the concern about tendering, everybody is allowed to tender. And the communities are again encouraged. They are allocated 30 to 60% of the same. Again, the local licenses are considered for the community at a ratio of 60:40.
Good enough. No, there is no much time to exchange again. So I advise you to meet all your sawmillers in the county and advise them on the process. Also provide an officer so that he can be able to engage the sawmillers in Vihiga County and its environs. Senator Ososi, 30 seconds. I want to
Speaker,
conclude
the
this.
answer given by the Madam CS is that is a tendering process. Madam Speaker, the information I have is that, Mr. Speaker, sorry, Mr. Speaker, the information I have is that all the people who have been given the jobs, none of them is local. So where is the 30% the CS is referring to? And I have evidence that I can provide, Mr. Speaker, on that.
Madam CS.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Yes, for tendering, normally all those that are pre-qualified are the ones that receive license. So maybe the concern there is that they were not, they did not pass the pre-qualification. So maybe we could again discuss that further with our team here to identify what challenges they had when they were tendering. Yes.
I advise that, Madam CS, you task the county conservator.
Yes.
To engage this community so that they can understand what happens in the process. Because there is a county forest officer there or conservator who is stationed in your county. So just organize in a way that the conservator can be able to address those issues in Vihiga County and any other county that it needs that sensitization. So, honorable senators, we have come to the conclusion. Your issue was not addressed? Was it very technical?
Mr. Speaker, I asked about the government policy on logging on private forests. I didn't hear the feedback from the Cabinet Secretary. Thank you.
Logging in private forest.
Yes. So the regulations are underway. They are undergoing public participation to strengthen the private forests currently. And again, there are harvesting rules which provides a procedure for them to monitor the forests, and KFS and the county are working again together to ensure that there is compliance for the forests. So maybe you wait, we will also share a report within 7 days, giving you a comprehensive report on what we are doing for the private forests. But at a bird's eye view, what we can tell you is the regulations are undergoing public participation, and also we have rules and procedures in place, and KFS and county are also compliant to the rules, the very same rules. Thank you.
Senator Wambua, within less than 1 minute, what is your comment on the flogging?
I thank you, Mr. Speaker, for indulging me. Mr. Speaker, mine is just to provide some information to the CS about this rampant logging that is taking place across the country. Mr. Speaker, last weekend I was in Kitui, a ward called Barasa, and these are Kenya Power people, restoring power lines. Mr. Speaker, the level of felling of trees, in fact, if proper investigation is carried out, it may as well produce the results, Mr. Speaker, that in fact Kenya Power is doing serious damage to our forests. And the kind of trees that they are cutting down are trees that have been there for hundreds of years, simply just to provide whaling for power lines. And now, Mr. Speaker, this morning, I've just come from Nakuru. And Mr. Speaker, I've witnessed the same thing, felling of trees that clearly are not less than 50 years, 60 years old. Mr. Speaker, the ministry has got to do something about logging, both in public forests and even in private forests. Otherwise, you're going to convert this country into a desert. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Madam CS, maybe you can comment on the indiscriminate logging or felling of trees by Kenya Power and Littering Company. Actually, Nairobi, all the estates, especially the upper estates, they have done a lot of injustice to the same drive that we have of planting 15 billion. So we are doing plus 100,000, then they are subtracting 200,000. So we are really progressing. Maybe if there is a policy at the cabinet level, how you can engage the Minister of Energy and the Minister of Environment, what other methods can we use to put our cables? Maybe even they are felling even in where they are contained cables, they are still felling trees. So you don't understand what they are doing. But maybe you can make a comment as we wind up.
Yes. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The ministry has indeed reached out to the Ministry of Energy, and a technical working group has been established to address the issue. So we have Ministry of Energy and Health on board, Ministry of Energy and Environment on board to address the concerns to prevent the felling of trees. Yes.
As you do also the other report, you can include what has been agreed, because for sure we cannot move on that way in that direction. So maybe you can find out what has been agreed between the two ministries with the working group. How far are they on this matter, so that also we can be able to assist Kenyans. So, Honorable Senators, that is the end of engagement with the CS Environment. And thank you for finding time to appear to the Senate. We will be waiting for that report as you have stipulated within the 7 days. So thank you very much. We are now free to move to other matters of nation building. Asanteni sana. Next online is the CS for loans and transport. Understand is around the building, so usher in the CS.